Hello everyone, it's Kari from sunshineinmypocket.com. Today I have a fun and easy card to share with you, especially if you don't enjoy coloring. I'm going to be using this stamp set here from Miss Ink Stamps, and this stamp is called Magnolia Sympathy, but today I'm going to color them up like cherry blossoms. These made me really think about cherry blossoms, and I've heard a lot of stories of how beautiful they can be when they bloom, and I have never seen that in real life. So today I'm going to make it happen and create it on a card. So the first thing I'm going to do is take some painter's tape and I'm going to line up the edge with the edge of the card here. This is a card panel this same size as a regular A2 size card, which is 4¼ by 5½. And I'm taking this tape and just kind of putting it on my shirt to take away some of the stick. And you'll see why in just a minute. I had a pretty big mishap with this tape, which you will see later, but I'm going to show you what to do when that happens or if that ever happens to you. I'm taking this blending brush here. This is a new to me blending brush, but one of my favorites. And I'm going to just ink on some of this distress ink in a very light color. And then I'm going to place this stencil. This is the one from Miss Ink Stamps, one of my favorites. I'm going to place that over the top and just blend a little more. So you get kind of a subtle background with a lot of interest to it. I'm just going to set that aside while I do the inking on the flowers as well. I'm taking all of those images from the stamp set and I'm going to stamp them down using my MISTI and some of my new favorite black ink. It's this ink right here. I'll have it linked below if you're interested in checking it out. But look at this. I inked it up once. I have never used these stamps before. And look how dark and crisp and clear this stamped out. And now I'm going to go and I'm going to ink blend right over it. And it's not going to smear. You can also Copic color on it. I did get a little on my finger. So I'll be right back. Okay. I can't even stress how much I love this ink. And I'm going to ink blend with this smaller brush here now. Kind of like a finger brush, a little bigger than a finger dauber, but it is a brush tip on the end. So I like it better than finger daubers actually for this technique. And I have slowed this to normal speed right now so you can see just how fast it is to color up each of these flowers using ink. And all you have to do is just get a smaller brush and ink it on. And now I'm going to add a little darker ink to the middle of all of them after my first inking. And this is, by the way, picked raspberry distress ink. Look how fast. There we go. And now I'm going to take a couple of colors of Copic markers, BG11, and this is, I believe, BG15. I'm just going to take the darker color on the inside, and then blend it out with the lighter color. Just that quick on the leaves. Now you could use one of these blending brushes to color the leaves also if you don't have Copic markers or if you don't like coloring at all. You could easily blend these leaves with some greens or some blues like this and it would work just fine. I missed one of the flowers there, so I'm just going to ink that up real quick. There we go. And now I'm going to take some pinks and color in those blossoms. They're just the small ones here. Just going to blend those out and color on each of those little mini ones as well. Look how fast this card is to create. And now I'm just taking a brown and I'm going to color the branches. So just simply like this, not worrying about doing any shading or the like, because when this card comes together, you're not even going to notice that part. So just a few little touch-ups here. And now I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut all of these images. And you can see them there. They're up at the top. And now I'm going to remove this tape. It's important to remove this tape very slowly and kind of pull it back onto itself, because if you don't, look what happens. Did you see that? I ripped the paper. So I pulled it off the other side. I tried to make it nice and easy and slow, but there is a rip, kind of a tear at the top. To fix that, I am taking my sand eraser. I'm just erasing that away. And you can't even tell at all that there was a rip there. So that's a neat trick. If you tear your paper just a little bit, you can fix it. Now, if you tear it a lot, it might not be fixable, but this time it was. And so I was pretty happy about that. So I'm going to arrange my cherry blossoms here and then take the stamp that says thinking of you. There's so many beautiful sentiments in this set, but I decided to just go simply with the thinking of you, which I love. And I am going to stamp it with that same black ink that is my favorite right now. And look how crisp and clear it stamps on a sentiment. I do have to mention one thing. Normally when I use my VersaFine Onyx Black, which is one of my favorite black inks, or used to be, before I found this ink, I would worry about smearing it all the time. And this ink doesn't smear. It dries so fast. So I'm really happy with it. You can see I'm using some 3M foam tape on a couple of these blossoms. And I'm just going to nestle those leaves right in there with some liquid adhesive. So I'm just going to put a few down right here, and then I'm going to add one to the right hand side as well. And the last one that goes on the right, now I decided put it there, but then I thought, wait, maybe it needs to go over here. No, not quite right. Back over to the right hand side, and I added that one with some foam tape also. So you have a little dimension. And now to even step things up just a little bit, I'm going to add this Wow Sparkle. This is glitter with some chunky iridescent glitter and also some sand colored glitter. So I thought this would be perfect for the center of the flowers. And I'm just going to use some liquid adhesive, put some glitter on, let it dry for a few minutes, and then tap off the excess. If you get a little bit too much around the edges, just use a paintbrush and wipe it all away. And look at how beautiful that glitter is in the center of the flowers. So pretty. So this card is coming together very quickly. Since we didn't have to do any coloring, we just inked it on. This was a very quick card. And I love it. It has so much dimension and some personality with that background using the stencil from Missing Stamps. This is such a pretty set. Now I'm going to snip off the excess branch that was hanging over the edge there, and just going to kind of flatten this down with my bone folder, and there is our card for today. Do you love that sparkle in the center? You can also use stickles if you don't like to use regular glitter, but there's some dimension with that foam tape, the stencil in the background. A really pretty set from Miss Ink. I loved it so much. I hope you enjoyed this video today. I'm so glad to be back with you making videos after a long break. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.